Recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, after losing an additional 467,000 jobs last month, our nation's unemployment rate reached a 25-year high of 9.5%. It is time for the administration and the Democratic majority to admit what the American people know all too well. The vaunted Democratic stimulus bill has failed to stimulate anything other than a few federal bureaucrats and the Chinese who are loaning us, with hefty interest, I might add, those stimulus dollars. When President Obama and the Democratic leadership rammed the 173-page stimulus bill through Congress without giving representatives on either side of the aisle, much less voters back home, a chance to actually read it, they promised that the trillion-dollar price tag would go to saving or creating 3.5 million jobs. Well, Madam Speaker, I must ask the question, where are the jobs? To make matters worse, the House passed the Pelosi global warming tax 2 weeks ago that will only make it harder for businesses and families to survive by piling an additional $3,000 onto every household's energy bill. This cap and tax, they call it cap and trade, but it's a cap and tax policy. It would further impose artificial emission standards on American companies and energy producers, increasing the cost of doing business and forcing them to cede market share to overseas competitors who will not be subject to these limits on carbon dioxide emissions. I repeat, they will not be subject to these limits, and I'm talking, of course, about China and India. And now, the same people who turn General Motors into government motors have set their sights on a government-controlled health care system that gives power to bureaucrats rather than doctors like myself to make decisions about your care. As we have seen in Great Britain and in Canada, the end result would be the virtual elimination of private health insurance and the creation of a one-size-fits-all government health plan that would ration care by limiting the types of treatment patients can receive. Madam Speaker, instead of another government takeover, we need real solutions which will make health care more affordable and more accessible while leaving critical choices and decisions about their health where they belong, in the hands of patients and their physicians. And I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. Mr. Spratt from South Carolina.